real shit happens is very different than training at a gym.
Now back up, man. Same principle, but I just want to show you deception in grabbing the weapon. Maybe this is the time key to explain that part. I think it's best to do it right now. Yeah. So, like I said yesterday, Keith is the UC instructor, and it will connect what he's teaching right now, especially this topic. To be fair, he has a wealth of knowledge. It's unreal. Been trained everywhere, trained with everyone. Absolute dude you can learn from. You want them to sit down or stand?
No, man, you guys just come a little closer so you can hear me good. So, so like Michiel said, man, I've been blessed, man. I've had the combatives career that everybody dreams of. Got trained with the best people in the world, and it's opened doors for me that I still train with some of the best people in the world. And I was training with some special forces dudes who one time made a comment to me that just really rung a bell with me. And they said to me that unless your weapon's already in your hand, it's not your primary weapon. And it struck me that living in the United States, we have a very different situation, a very different culture than he does. Because most people are carrying things. It might be a pistol, it might be pepper spray, it might be a taser, but people to generally carry something, right? Unfortunately, most people who carry are carrying with their pepper spray in the purse, or they're carrying their taser in their purse, or they're carrying their gun down here, down here in their appendix or on their hip. They're carrying their knife clipped onto their belt. And if suddenly violence is upon you before you can see it ahead of time, you got to rely on this before you can get to this. And if you train with anybody who does real shit like he does, they will tell you the worst time to try and access a weapon is in fight. Because, man, we talked about this yesterday, the adrenal dump that's going to happen to you when real shit happens is very different than training at a gym. So one of the things that I started training with is the idea of finding things that we can carry with us all the time that are kind of improvised weapons that we can have with us all the time. So Michiel mentioned this morning the idea of code yellow. Now, I live in a very rural area. When I leave my house and walk out to my garage, I'm in code yellow, right? I'm aware, but I'm not like actively scanning for threats. But I live about 2 hours from Pittsburgh, and so if I take my family to Pittsburgh, whole different thing. I'm not familiar with Pittsburgh. I mean, we don't go there very often. So when we park in a parking garage and I'm leaving with my family, I am in code yellow alpha, right? I'm actively looking for threats. In those situations, I want to have with me some kind of equalizer or force multiplier, right? Because I may need it. Now, I carry, but I'm not going to walk around downtown Pittsburgh with my Glock 19 in my hand. Right? But what I can do is I carry my car keys on this simple carabiner that you can buy at a hardware store for $1.95. I put my hand in there and I have my keys on it, and I'm walking around with my family with a pair of improvised brass knuckles on my hand. And what's really sweet about this is because we live in the United States where, as you mentioned yesterday too, we are a very litigious society. People love to sue. Right? And so if I access a weapon and use a weapon to defend myself, I got to explain in court why I'm using that weapon, why I had a weapon on me. Oh, Mr. Hay, I see that you train combatives. Let's take a look at your social media profile. Oh, well, in this image, you're pretending to stab a guy in the neck. Mr. Hay, do you carry your weapon looking for an opportunity to hurt other people? You see where I'm going with this? Yeah. So if you have a chance to carry something that you can justify, carry something you can justify. I can carry this with me and I can just tell people, man, I had my car keys on it, I got confronted, and I just, boom, I hit the guy and I didn't even think about it. It can be something as simple as I do carpentry work. So I carry with me a nice big nail punch. Keep it in my pocket. If I'm in a situation where I'm leaving a store late at night, and I'm walking to my car, and maybe the light isn't great, I put that thing in my hand, I'm walking along with it. And I need to use it, I can justify to the police, man, I do carpentry, and I just happen to have this nail punch with me. It was in my pocket from working this morning, and it just came out, and I used it.
Can I add something,
Yes.
something on that?
Yeah.
in your case, because you have this on the hand and you would use it for real, the same lawyer would go to your social media, I would say, with your trained killer, stabbing a shoot. Now you have a story to say like, look, you see what I'm doing? I'm able to shoot, I'm able to stab, but I didn't do this. So this was an act of sheer desperation and out of a reaction. So now it can be a positive thing that's on your social media.
Absolutely.
Now you can say, listen, I was very much in control. I didn't take my weapon. It was caught by surprise and was a reactive dynamic, correct?
Absolutely. And we train in urban combatives, and all you guys are all training to use the lowest level of force possible to deal with a threat. Like Lee Morrison famously always says, you don't solve a problem with a brick that you can solve with a push, right? Same kind of idea. So I would encourage you guys that anytime you think you might be in a situation, especially like Detroit, I would be having something with me, man. If you guys are going someplace that maybe you're unfamiliar with, maybe you have your family with you, and you kind of think you need that extra little level of attention, that yellow alpha, you know what? Have an equalizer, have a force multiplier in your hand. Even if you're packing your gun, you know, I have something that gives me an edge over a threat, whether it's somebody bigger than me or there's multiples. I have this to boom, deal with this, then I can get to my gun and then I'm free to go at it. But if I don't want to be in a fight dealing with somebody and trying to get to my gun as I'm getting my ass kicked. So, just a thought.
Simple action of having it in your hand already heightens up your awareness. So already when you have, if it's a pocket stick, if it's what you have there, it already makes you go from yellow, go yellow alpha.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Good point. So that fits perfectly what I'm going to do right now. I am right-handed. I would most likely put my pocket stick here. Now pocket stick is a chance that you can lose it, because it has no kydex sheet. But with pocket stick, I mean blade. But I would carry it here with a kydex sheet. Most likely with a loop on it. As soon as I pull it out, the kydex sheet is still hanging on the belt and I have the blade. But it can be a pocket stick too. My point is, you will now contact manage. And in this dynamic, it's difficult to do, but you need to have presence of mind. If he comes forward, do I really want to relocate this and now go for the weapon so I lose element of surprise? Of course not. Yesterday I showed you a bit. Now I want you, as soon as you do that, so I don't have a problem. Hey, this was my problem, that was wrong. Be quick and sneaky. So as soon as you turn, you grab and you hide it again. Why? Element of surprise. And what I did in the video is I had the flashlight already in hand. You see me walking like a monkey. I walk like a monkey, by the way, as you will see this. Then I already had it in my hand. Police officer didn't see it, like I said yesterday, and one guy thought that something was in his hand because I ripped open his whole temple. And I said, don't know what you talk about. And if I could not deny it, I would say, hey, I had a flashlight in my hand. I was doing around the security. It was in my hand already. Can I not have a flashlight? And out of reaction, I was hitting. I saw it multiple times, 3 times now, that there was a fight and that a friend or a girlfriend wants to help her boyfriend on the floor, and then she wants to slap him and she forgot the wine in the hand. One time in the international school, the guy came back, he had a long story, he cut somebody open with a beer glass, and he said to me, honestly, honestly, I didn't mean to hit him in the face with the glass. I just saw him and it was a fight, and I got a push and a hit, and I smacked back, and all of a sudden I saw glass everywhere, beer everywhere, and blood everywhere. So he was glassing him without really doing it on a cognitive level, if that makes sense. Okay? So you can always go back to that resource. So what I want to see right now, you contact manage shame drill, access the weapon, and do not show, and use the voice now. Back up, man! Like really more aggression. Can we try that? Yeah. So hide it the best you would carry it. Think about it. Play with this. You get 2 tries each again.
Right, man, that was a perfect place.